Oh, ready. I must be live because it says I am. So, hello, everybody. Hey, Zen friends. Welcome to a special session where I'm jumping back on to finish out the donations that I did not complete in the earlier session. I did not get to any free readings. My apologies. I know. A lot of you try. So if you weren't able to get to your, I wasn't able to get to your free reading yesterday or today, be sure if you want to try tomorrow morning or tomorrow night, you can definitely try. Sundays for sure, though, if you put your question in between 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. Mountain Time, I do come back in the afternoon and finish out all of the readings from the morning session so that you at least can get a message from spirit at least once during the weekend. So if you want to continue to try, feel free to do so because you never know. Sometimes Saturday mornings, probably that one's a little bit full of donations, but Sunday morning for sure. And thank you for your patience in that. I really appreciate it. I know not everyone's able to make donations, so I do try to at least come back on one day um, to make sure that everyone can get a message from spirit. So try to return to that one if you would like. And thank you so much for all of you that made donations that I did not get to. It's all listed in the description box of the video. After being on 3 hours, your butt tends to fall asleep, and you have to go to a little boy's room and different things. So I needed a little quick break to get some more coffee to stay hydrated, or not, at least to stay. Um, I don't know. It's not really hydrated, but have liquid going into my body. So we'll finish up your donations. Now, there is no chat because I'm not taking any new requests during the session. This is strictly to finish up with the handful of donations I didn't get to. So thank you guys again so much for all your love and support. And we'll start off here. So we'll put timestamps when I'm done. But to start off here, we do have Sudeshna. So let's grab you have two in a row that we'll do. We'll circle back around for your third one in this session. So thank you again for all your donations. I'm so grateful. All right, so let's shuffle up here and let's see what we got here. So for your first one, so you say, as predicted last week, there was kind of a tower moment between you. A sudden argument happened with a very casual topic, right? Look at that. So is this the end of the connection? What did he think? All right, let's take a look here. Is this the end? We'll take a look here with those. And what did he think? Oh, okay. Evidently, they wanted another one for this is the end. What did he think, though? We got this one and this one, this one and this one. Let's see what we got. Yeah, we do have the Knight of Swords as the bottom energy, which the Knight of Swords is about movement of thought and belief and mindset. It's the quest for clarity. So we'll see what we have coming in here regarding this energy. Is this the end? We have the Sun card. You also have the Page of Cups and the Emperor. Well, I like this, that it doesn't have to be the end of your friendship, because there is about heightened emotion. There is the sun shining on things. But the Emperor is an energy of you get to decide, right? I get to decide if something's ending or not. If you don't want it to end, then you can reach out and go, you know, you know, you can kind of look at how you want to approach it first, because you don't want to go in all like, I'm so sorry. It's just like, hey, trying to reflect on what happened. um, it's good for you to understand what was your reaction, right? Whenever there's like, what did you say, in like an argument, it takes two people to like, do you like this? Two people to argue. It takes two people to argue. Um, and arguments happen when two people are in their child self, because something inside of us felt unsafe or we felt out of control. And so we went into our inner child with the pet hissing cats, right? So that means we were both in fear mode. Because if I'm in higher vibrational love and someone's in fear, if they rah, I'm not going to take it personally. I'm going to go, what's going on? Are you okay? Let's talk about this. But if they rah and then I rah, that's when an argument happens, right? So both of you were in fear, but you don't need to understand what was going on with them yet. You focus on you. What was I? And this is that Knight of Swords, clarity on my fears, clarity on my thoughts. Why was I reacting? Understanding they didn't make me react. Whatever actions or whatever in the outside world, words, whatever, I was triggered. They didn't trigger me. I was triggered. I then need to understand my triggers. That helps me understand my communication, right? Going, oh, I see. Then, you know, when we want to approach it, we can go, you know, I'm sorry. We can apologize for our part, right? You can say, you know, I reflected on our conversation and how it kind of got a bit heated, and I understand why I was reacting now, and I was wondering if you had time or desire to talk about it, because I'd like to understand where you were um, coming from. Not, and I want you to know how where I was coming from. That's not if I want to kind of connect, you know, friendship. Then I'm going to find out and go, you know, I understand what I was triggering because of this fear of mine and blah blah blah, and I reacted, and I'm so sorry that I, you know, threw up on you with all that stuff, and I'm so sorry. I'm working on that, and you know, um, I'd like to understand where you were coming from because I don't want to um, create that kind of situation again. And if they're like, all right, I like that, let's communicate, you know, that's in some ways, if that any of that resonates right there. But it doesn't have to end. You get to choose, you know, if you want it to continue, then you can do that work and then approach it. Otherwise, if we just try to smooth over things, then we're going to continue to do the same stuff and end with up with the same result later too, right? So you get to decide, but first look for clarity within you of why you were reacting, what your fears were. Okay. That's what Spirit is recommending. You don't have to do it. It's just a recommendation. What did he think? Ace of Wands. He got fiery. Ace of Wands. Something sparked in him, you know. So he went out of his mind. He wasn't thinking. Three of Pentacles. There's this trying to be true to their authentic self. Whatever came up in the conversation, something triggered within them an attack. They felt attacked in something about who they are and what they believe or about something that's authentically them, and they took something personally that you didn't mean personally, but they took it as, oh, you're talking about me or this part of me, and so something went on the defense and it triggered, right? We have the Nine of Pentacles, so the energy of I want to be by myself energy. From the outside world, I just want my alone time to think, the Page of Swords. So they don't like to argue. They'll be more like a, you know, like we talk about, we either, when we're reacting, our inner child and our pet hissing cat will either like hiss and run, hiss and attack, or hiss and attack and then run. I feel like they kind of felt like it was an attack and then they ran because they withdraw to think about things and to look over things. So I feel like that's what's going on is they're trying to understand why did I trigger, what was going on, why did I take it personally. They're a pretty reflective person, but I feel like that's a big piece of what's going on with them there. So hopefully that helps there. Let's get you a fortune cookie too. I'll just put these cards back in real quick. All right. So let's see what we have here. What else about this argument? Okay. Yeah. We've got the mind. Got this little reflection. So here's you reflecting with your cup of tea or coffee. Says you are the master of your inner world and you decide how the outer world affects you. Cultivate a calm inner state. I like that. That's coming back to that. You get to decide what things mean. So in the moment, you decided what the story was. You decided your emotion. You decided your energy. You decided your actions. Some of them were reactions because you went into fight or flight mode, right? So now that you can sit back and reflect and go, what story was I choosing? What emotion was I choosing? What energy was I focusing on? What physical actions did I do? Look at your side of what was going on inside of you during this situation. It helps you understand what happened there. All right. So that's for your first one. So thank you for that. And then for your second donation in this session, anyway, anything more do you need to know regarding the above situation between you and T? Does he want to never talk to you again and feel annoyed by you? Okay, let's take a look here. All right. So let's ask your specific questions first. Based on current energy, does he never want to talk to you again? All right. And then does he feel annoyed by you? All right. And then what else do you need to know regarding the situation above? Well, okay, between the two. Wow. Cards are flying out. So all of this here we will look at. Okay. So bottom of the deck, you do have the Queen of Wands, which again is an energy of that you are the one that rules over your kingdom, right? Even underneath that, you have the Two of Wands. Whatever you focus on, well, I love this. Whatever you focus on is what you draw, and you even have the Magician underneath that. So all of these three energies, just on the bottom of the deck, are all about, you know, you get to choose what you focus on and draw into your life, right? You're not at the whim of everyone else, what everyone else is deciding and choosing. Um, it's you're wanting to understand where they're coming from, what's going on, and all. But ultimately, it's like if I focus on the lower vibration of the situation, I'm going to bring more of that in. Um, I say, spend 10-20% of our time on our shadow, looking at the fears, the stuff that's below there, but the other 80-90% on what I'm grateful for. What am I grateful for about the situation? What am I grateful for of them and of our interactions? And then that draws in stuff that matches more of that energy than more arguments and more of this and the fears that we had. Chances are we were focusing on fear in, uh, you know, either in or around or before that situation that ended up drawing in the an interaction that matched the fears, right? So it's good to look back and look into that. All that energy is about you are the master of your life, no one else. You're not, at the whim of the outside world. You're not in a taxi cab being driven around, wherever they choose to take you. You're the one driving the vehicle of your life. So I feel like it's important to just remember to step back into your power. Based on current energy, does he ever want to talk to you again? Two of Pentacles. No, there's balance that comes in here. That is an option that they're weighing because the balance is, they're trying to think about it. Do I want to or not? And what are the pros and cons? They're a big thinker. So they are looking at those. So it's not just that that's an option, but the other option is, you know, to reach out. Um, does he feel annoyed by you? It got the Nine of Cups. There's a lot of emotion going on around them. And the Nine of Cups is usually a different type of energy, but I'm getting like the Seven of Cups is usually emotional confusion. Nine of Cups, I feel like there's a bunch of different emotions, but feeling annoyed by you. Um, sure, at times. in this particular situation, they're not annoyed by you, they were annoyed by your actions or non-actions, your words or your silence, right? Not you, but what they experienced, in the situation is what annoyed them, not you, yourself, who you are. Just something you said annoyed them, not you. And it's important that what they said or did or whatever, they didn't upset you. You were upset by something they said or didn't say, did or didn't say, right? So, or whatever. But, it's to understand that's important, right? What else did they want you to know about the situation here? Five of Swords is the argument. That is the verbal conflict that happened. Um, and I feel like from your standpoint, you need to know with the Queen of Pentacles that, and you have the Queen of Pentacles, you have the Star card. And let's see, I can do this now that I have my microphone down here. I don't bump into it. And the Ace of Cups. So it feels like what really triggered within you something to look at is like your dream come true, your hope for love, because that's what this energy is, and the Queen of Pentacles wanting this thing that I feel like there is like what bubbled up out of you had to do with your feelings of not being chosen and your feelings of um, not having feelings reciprocated. So there was a lot of unspoken things that, because you felt like it was just like this casual thing that blew up. Well, that's because there was underlying energy under both of you that came out in the conversation, having nothing to do with the conversation that you were having. There was things that were below the surface that have been bubbling, that all it took was a little raise in temperature for it to all come out. Brah! So it needed to be shared. It's been bubbling up I feel like here for a while, because all that energy, I feel like that's your side. Wow, they have three cards, that middle card, and three cards. So this is their viewpoint. What was going on with them? So they're trying to see things from a higher perspective. Let's see here. The Four of Cups and the Eight of Swords. Yeah. So I feel like their side bubbling up here, it's like they're trying with this higher calling and this stagnant emotions and a lot of this big thinking that's been going on. A lot of stuff in their head, supposed to be's and should be's and need to be's. They were really looking at a lot of their own thoughts and beliefs that have made them feel blinded and bound and trapped and restricted. And I feel like with this Judgment card, even though it's normally our higher self, I feel like they have a lot of pressure in trying to be someone. Um, and it has to do with like love, and it has to do with like spirituality and a lot of mindsets, and I feel like mom's voice a lot of telling them who they're supposed to be and should be and need to be, and all this and all of that pressure came out because they've got great respect and honor for their mother. And so with whatever came out in the conversation, I feel like because they couldn't express it to their mom, that some of their emotions were redirected at you, um, as her representative in his life. You know how it's like, well, I can't be angry with a parent, so um, the energy eventually has to go somewhere. And I feel like your built up energy came out in the argument, and their built up energy came out in the argument. So it's important to look at that. So I feel like that's what they want you to know around that, if that um, makes sense there. Let's see what else they have here for your fortune cookie. And we will circle back around for your third question here in a moment. All right. Yep. So you got beauty. It's the card here. This is today you are a curator of beauty. You are blessed with moments that let you know beyond a shadow of doubt that all is well in the world. So I feel like this card to end that conversation around your disagreement is that in the end, all is well in your world. Either you'll get back together or you won't as friends, but in either case, you're going to be fine. Them in your life or not isn't the end all be all of your life. Um, and it's important to put that into perspective with this. Your life is beautiful with or without them in it. And it's important to know that. All right. So that is what they have for those two Sudeshna. Like I said, we'll circle back around here for your other one here in a moment. All right. But Culture Envy, you are up next. So let's grab yours here. Grab your timestamp. So thank you for your additional donation. I appreciate that. So how will your review go next week? Oh, it's that time of year, huh? Let's see here. All right. So based on current energies, how will your review go next week? Okay, thank you. Oop, and they want this one, and I do want this one, but they want this one here, and this one here. Not that one. I feel like this one was there too, and this one here. Okay. All right. So let us take a look. What is all happening here? Just at least you can see them a little bit. Bottom of the deck, we have the 10 of Pentacles. 10 of Pentacles is a good card. It is about abundance, fullness, victory, hitting the top, kind of energy. So we like that. That's a positive outcome underneath the surface. So we like that energy. That could mean ching ching energy. Maybe a bonus, maybe a raise. At least it feels abundance, at least some praise, maybe. You do have the Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords is about it's important to let go of your own thoughts and beliefs and mindsets that limit and steal opportunities from you. And so it is about you've been letting go of some old ways of thinking. You're aware of some. There's a couple more just to be aware of going into this. Um, and kind of going into this review with an open mind and getting out of preconceived ideas and thoughts and beliefs before you go into it is important. You have the Knight of Wands, which is the quest for the Ace of Wands, so the quest of owning your own energy. And I thought of this, I mean, they already started talking to me before all the cards came out, but it was like being aware of your energy going in because you are the one who draws in experiences based on where your vibration is. If I'm focused on, oh, they're going to do this, there's not going to be any raises, they always do this, they always do that, guess what? You draw with that in and you're going to get that experience, maybe even amplified, right? But if you go in going, you know what? I'm so grateful for the job I have. I'm so grateful. Well, you don't have to say the job. What I'm grateful about my job is this, and this. I'm also grateful for that, the money I make. I'm grateful. And that just invites more of that to expand, right? So it's really important before you're going into something is to send that energy forward that helps prepare it, you know, work on that now. Start focusing on it now between now and the review date. Don't wait till like 15 minutes before because that doesn't give the energy a whole lot of time to work. But if you send the energy forward now, changes can happen, between now and then for your greater good, your greater success, your greater, abundance if you do that. What else do you have here? Yep, you have the Five of Pentacles and the Magician. Yeah. So again, kind of this reiteration, the Five of Pentacles is the belief in lack, the belief in the fears of lack, of not being enough, not having enough, being abandoned, left behind, blah, blah, blah. But it's about lack energy. And the Magician, the Magician card is, I'm showing myself on my computer screen. Look at Bretta Zen. Look at yourself. Okay. So There's this energy where you focus your if you focus your energy on lack, you'll get lack. If you focus your energy on gratitude, you'll get more to be grateful for, is what it comes in with that down there. That's just funny. I just maybe it's good that I stick to 3 hours. All right. Below, you have the victory card, the ending of a cycle, the beginning of a new adventure. So we like that type of energy. Again, victory energy. You have the Page of Wands. Again, an energy focusing on what you focus on is what you get. And the Hanged Man, which is about seeing things from a higher perspective, a different perspective. It's transformative energy, which I like. What else is this bringing me here? Cocoon, transformation, change, evolution. I feel like they're going to be talking about career planning a little bit here with the Hanged Man, because it is about like moving from a caterpillar to a butterfly. It's like um, next steps, what we can do to get you, into a new role, a higher role. It just feels like that kind of energy that comes in with that because it's evolutionary, transformational energies that come in. So it looks very positive, but it's very important for you to manage your energy before you go in and start now. What are you grateful for with what you're making? I like this ritual because it says, steady yourself with simple rituals. Do the dishes, fold the laundry, water the plants, make a cup of tea. Let wisdom sneak upon you. But I like this ritual energy of, yeah, it's do the stuff, like for work wise, if this is, of course, for work, it's do all the stuff, but make it a daily ritual around gratitude. Make gratitude a new ritual, specifically around work. If you have it for other things, make it specifically around work. Either maybe before you go into work, what I love about my job. What's one thing I love about it? Expands, right? Then at the end of the workday, what did I love about the job today? Make that a ritual before you go in, before you leave. Maybe, if you work from home before you log on, or if you actually have to go somewhere before you walk in, think, what am I grateful for in this job? All right, I'm going in. Psst. And then as you're leaving and you get back into your car or log off, then you could be like, all right, what did I love about today? Make it a ritual. It'll help. All right. So that's what they have for you, Culture Envy. I love that for you. So many blessings to you. All right. And then let me put that up here. So Sudeshna, we're circling back around for number 3 for you. Let me just move it up here. There we go. At least for the pinned comment that I'll post after I'm done. So Sudeshna, thank you again for your multiple donations. So grateful. So the next 72 hours for you and spirit messages. All right, let's take a look here. What's in store for you that they want you to know about in the next 72 hours? Boom, boom, boom. Well, here's 3 cards. That is 3 days, right? What else does spirit want you to know here? Looks like they got a message for each day too. So the Knight of Pentacles tells you take the next 72 hours just one step at a time. Take it slow-mo. Don't rush through. Just enjoy the moments as you go through them. Don't try to rush through the next 72 hours. Enjoy the moment. Be in the now. For the first 24 hours, you've got the Magician. So being aware of where you're investing your energy, what you're focusing on. The next 24 hours is a big manifestation. It's a big attractive energy where what you focus on, you attract in big ways very quickly. So if you're focusing on lower vibration, higher vibration, right? What spirit wants you to know about it? Yeah, the Nine of Pentacles. You have a great opportunity for a feeling of abundance. And it doesn't mean, it has to be money, but it's a feeling of abundance that you can achieve in the next 24 hours based on this. So they are reaffirming that this is a big energetic pocket of 24 hours that things come in big and fast for you. Um, and so be aware of what you're focusing. The next 24 hours after that, you have the Three of Cups, joy, celebration, gatherings too. So it feels like the next 24 hours after that, which would be, I don't know, because you're on the other side of the planet, right? So whatever the next 24 hours after that, it does feel like joyful gatherings that are coming in there. And the Ten of Swords. Spirit would have you say that as this joyful gathering comes in, let go of the expectations of the supposed to be, the should be, the need to be, what you think everyone else expects of you, what you expect of others. Just allow yourself to go in with zero expectations. It'll amplify the joy in the experience, because when you have all these expectations, it takes all of this energy just to get up to zero. But if you have no expectations, this much joy is much more than all of this that takes up to be zero, because that much joy is what is needed. See the difference of all that with expectations or all of this, because you can even have more. So there's more joy and more allowance for celebration when you let expectations go. All those words like supposed to and should and need to and have to and must. You just go in with, I'm going to enjoy the moments. And there is great joy that can come from that. The 24 hours after that, the last 24 hours, you have the Queen of Swords. So this is a balance between head and heart. Is the focal energy, and Spirit wants you to know here with the Nine of Cups, it is a dream come true kind of energy. And I like this because it's like the 24 hours after that just really feels like a very compatible situation, just where you're just like, and I feel like the setup for it is if you focus your energy in the next 24 hours on abundance and gratitude, and then the next one with no expectations and joy, the third set of 24 hours is like sitting in bliss, sitting in this feeling of balance and feeling like there's nothing wrong in the world, there's no care in the world. You're like in this beautiful pocket of bliss that can come in here. But it's all about you choosing, where am I focusing my energy, letting go of expectations, and then you have this beautiful, wonderful energy. But take it moment by moment. Don't try to rush through it to get to the end of it, because I feel like it's a beautiful energy. So that's, if that's your mission, if you choose to accept it. And let's see what your fortune cookie says here too. Let's put this last one in here. All right, here we go. Yeah, priorities. Look, your calendar this month. Priorities. And it says the quality of your life is determined by how you spend your time. Make sure your schedule reflects the life you want. Also, make sure your energy matches what you want, right? Your mental choices matches what you want. So I like that. That's that whole thing. Make sure these next hours match what you want. And I love that for you. So hopefully that makes sense. That's what they have for you, Sudeshna. Thank you again for all your donations. I greatly appreciate that. All right. Catlady, let's see here. Catlady of the Sea, you are at 34 minutes even. So Catlady, thank you for your donation. And I love your, is that a kitty? I love your little cat picture. So your question is, what will end up happening to your relationship with Jordan before the end of this year? All right. Catlady of the Sea. All right, so based on current energies, relationship. Okay, I do have that one here. I do want these. I do want this one. I do want this one. And I do want this one. Okay. And that's the bottom of the deck. All right, so we're already going to see that one here. Okay, let's take a look-see. Let me just get these situated here. Bottom of the deck, we do have the Seven of Cups coming in here. Now, Seven of Cups energy is it's a lot of different emotions. So obviously, um, the norm, I feel like they're saying the norm, emotions, all these different directions. It's like flows over here and then flows over here. It's almost like feels like you're on a ship. Oh, we're over here. Oh, no, we're over here. It's the rocking. It's the ship going back and forth. You're on a cruise. So interesting emotional energy on the emotional waters, feeling a bunch of things. Let's see what else we have here. Wow, and the Seven of Wands. It's a lot of these sevens, sevens and sevens. It's a heavenly number. Seven of Wands is about being true to one's authentic self, not asking permission to shine, not dimming its light, not feeling you have to defend where you're coming from and what you're wanting. But there is a lot of different energy that happens between now and the end of the year. And they're just preparing you. It's not going to be just one way. And it never has been. It's always been pew, 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 right? Ricochet everywhere. Energy and emotions, motion and passion and emotion. A lot of change. Let's see what else is coming in here. So you have the Empress energy, which is Mother Nature, Mother Nurture. Let's see what the other cards are here. Well, we got the Two of Cups. So there is definitely interactions and the Page of Cups. Wow. So there's a possibility here, and this is what's coming in here is doing what we've always did is not going to get us anywhere different, right? Um, and so the Empress card is about if each of you take the time to truly reflect on your own emotions, especially. Empress rules over all four queens. Every queen behind the scenes gets cups, emotion energy. Queen of Cups adds a fifth cup, right? So 5 parts cups, 5 parts water and emotion, 1 part fire, 1 part air, 1 part earth. So there's 1 part physical world, 1 part passion, 1 part, mind. All of it is about emotion. Doing emotional work, if both of you do that, then there is this heightened love and this possibility of being in a heightened relationship. But if you don't, if one of you doesn't, then you're going to go back to doing what we've always did and getting what we've always gotten here. The obstacles of the number 7, right? 3 on each side and a big obstacle in the middle for love and passion. Let's see what else comes in here. Yeah, you have the 10 of Cups, another beautiful emotional energy, togetherness energy. That's the umbrella. The 2 things underneath that would have to happen to hold that up. Queen of Cups. Again, here's the cups energy, right? She not only rules over cups, but gets a second portion. So deep dive into emotions is important for both of you to be able to do things differently, understanding emotionally where each of you are coming from, not towards each other, but towards yourself, because it's your self love that's being reflected in all your relationships. So it's important to understand why I feel the way I do about me and about what I want in life and what I feel I need in life and what I fear in life. All that emotional energy is, necessary below the surface. And the King of Cups. So the Queen and the King of Cups. I love it. Underneath the 10 of Cups. Whoops. So divine counterparts, but both needing to roll over their emotions, understand their emotions, to be able to have the joy. But definitely great possibilities here if we do that. That's the one thing that's so important. I mean, that's not a small thing either. I get it. To understand the emotions, then there is this togetherness based on current energy. But I feel like with the sevens in the front, if everything just stays as it was, then there is too much conflict for it to move forward. But if you focus in each of you, and I think we did. I'm not sure. You might have changed your name, but I just feel this Jordan energy that they are working on themselves, and obviously you've been working on yourself. So it's continuing to do that and amplifying it can end up doing that. Let's see what your fortune cookie brings in here. Cat lady of the sea. Yeah. And that Seven of Wands, too, is an energy of being true to one's authentic self. We have authenticity. It says, live life for you, not the audience in your head. So it's doing what you love, living your life for you, and not trying to be anything, not trying to listen to those supposed to be's and should be's and need to be's, but following your true heart, which obviously I feel like you're doing, but I like that. Right. So that's what they have for you, Cat Lady. Hopefully that resonates, and many blessings to you. All right. And then Miss K, lastly but not leastly, let's grab your timestamp here. Thank you for your donation and your patience in getting to your reading here. So, do you see you meeting a trustworthy partner coming in this year? All right. We were talking about that earlier today. I was talking with someone, and then we had this come up in the session too. Are there any trustworthy humans? No. When it comes down to it, you can't trust a human character, right? Because as soon as our human character, our little inner child goes into, fight or flight mode because it feels unsafe or out of control in some way, out of out of the mind we go. And we don't do intelligent, loving, compassionate things. We do stupid, unloving, uncompassionate things. And so we can't trust a human with we can trust some more than others, but the more triggers someone has, the less trustworthy they are, because the more unstable they are. If they have a trigger, off they go, off they go, off they go. But the less triggers that someone has, the more trustworthy, or maybe rather than trustworthy, is the more stable they are. And so there is trust that we can trust that they're not going to freak out and flip out and do stupid things, right? But let's take a look here. Based on current energies, do we see meeting a trustworthy enough partner for you this year? Like how spirit changes things up. But let's take a look here, what we have here. So we got those, we got those, we got those. Okay, that's it. All right. Okie dokie. Just arrange these so I can fit them all over here. Okay. Well, the bottom of the deck, we do have both the King of Wands. Let me just grab them both here. And the Emperor. And, there's great energy here. Even have the Magician underneath that. I just got to show it because all three of these energies are about power of choice. Because, whenever I talk about the Emperor, the King of Wands, it's about deciding what I want, putting a plan together, and putting energy behind that, right? And so there is a little bit of, um, can I trust myself? You know, I'm looking for a trustworthy partner because I want to be able to trust someone. Well, we start with first, can I trust myself? What triggers do I have? How do I betray myself? How do I work against myself? How do I lie to myself? When we look at all the themes of why do I mistrust others? Oop, three fingers pointing back at me. It exists somewhere inside of me. How am I not trusting myself? Like if I'm looking for love in the outside world, I'm looking for my worth in the outside world. I'm looking for faithfulness in the outside world. I'm looking for kindness in the outside world. It all has to start here, right? And all this energy is about me, what I focus on. So first, let me focus on me, be the person that I can trust, be the person my inner child can trust. That's interesting. Be the person, be the parent, be the adult that my inner child can trust. Then, with me raising that, I draw in someone that matches that energy. But until I deal with that and I kind of do this inventory of everything that I'm looking for in a trustworthy partner, am I expressing that to myself and my inner child now? If not, then my energy won't match. I can't draw someone in. And if I've been drawing in untrustworthy people, it's because something within me is not trusting myself. And it's happening for me to show me what I need to see or I want to see about myself. Wow, that's deep. All right, let's see what else we have here. You do have the Nine of Cups and the Five of Pentacles. Whoa. So this is reiterating it a little bit here with, the dream come true of a healthy partner or trustworthy partner starts with that Five of Pentacles, which is a belief in lack, overcoming this belief in lack, this fear of being left behind, being abandoned, not being enough, not having enough, which again kind of echoes of inner child, right? There's some feelings of abandonment, this feelings of unworthiness, the feeling of not being able to trust a parent, maybe, or parents, or people in authority when you were younger, because it does feel like, in order for the dream to come true of the Nine of Cups, that I've got to deal with this feelings of lack and of not being worthy of having trustworthy partner. And that goes back to childhood. So there is this echo that's happening here of inner child energy. So what else we have here? You have the Hanged Man. There is transformation, seeing things from a different perspective, but a transformative energy that comes in. The Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, there's this little delay here. The Hanged Man is it takes time for the cocoon to caterpillar to transform into a butterfly. Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving knight out of it all. We have the Five of Cups, transforming some lower vibration emotions. Again, these fives. It's giving you time here. And the Nine of Swords. And the Nine of Swords is about, all this timing here. Slowness is giving you an opportunity to, look at. I wrote down here the Nine of Swords. There's this great reference on the Nine of Swords, which is making a list of 9 things that I'm worried about. And in this case, I feel like it's, let me write down 9 things that I fear from an untrustworthy partner, because that's the root of the fears. That's the root. It'll help you get to I know where all this comes from. I can pinpoint it to a time of when this person did this that made me fear untrustworthy people. And I feel like that's an important part of the process here, because in aligning all that, then again, it raises your energy to allow you to receive all this, right? You have the Ten of Pentacles. You do have, this is partnership energy, and the King of Pentacles, a person who's very solid and grounded. So you do have, if you do that stuff, there is a possibility here. All the slowness, things slow down, but as you raise your love vibration, it can bring it in. So there is a possibility of it being this year, but that Ten of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles does bring in an energy of someone that is solid, that is grounded, that is trustworthy, that you see them as someone that's solid, right? That, and you draw them in because that's how you feel on the inside of you. That is how your inner child and you are at, and that allows you to bring that in. So I love that for you. Now let's see what your fortune cookie brings in here as well. So I like that. Hopefully that helps. Of course, if you have any questions, feel free to email me. My email's in the description box of the video. So if you're like, what does that mean? Feel free to email me too. I'll answer you when I'm able, of course. So let's see here. What's your fortune cookie, Miss K? Okay, this one here. Wow. Elevate the self-worth. Exactly what we're talking about, right? And it says, you get what you believe you deserve. It's time to raise your standards. Wow. So that very much is that's when we go back to the Six of Pentacles, um, it's one of the cards I talk about a lot. It's about the scales of what do I believe I deserve. I have to give 1,000 love coins to deserve one back. Our inner child is the one who learns this 7 years old and younger. And then it goes down into our subconscious and it runs on autopilot there till we bring it forward and we question, who was it that I felt I had to give so much to and I got so much less from? Who that can be a mistrust, right? It's like I trusted that I would give, to you and that you'd give back to me, but you kept on asking for more and I never got equal. I always had to give so much to receive so little. So hopefully that helps, Miss K. And that's what they have for you right now. So many blessings to you. Thank you again for your donation. And thank you, everyone, for your patience in getting to your readings. I'll be back tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Mountain. Tomorrow night, 6 to 9 p.m. Mountain. And then again on Sunday. And if you were trying to get your free reading and you weren't able to get it, um, I'm so sorry that you try and you try and you try. And I know I've been having a lot of sessions where I haven't been getting to free reading. So, but Sundays is the day that I always come back on to finish out all of those. So if you're like, I don't want to keep trying to not have my um, reading completed, come in Sundays. Sundays, if you just pop in from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., put your question out there. If I don't get it to in that 3-hour session, I take a little break and eat, and I come back on and I finish out everything from that morning session, free readings and all. So thank you for your patience and all that. It's my attempt at balance. It's my challenge, and dealing with guilt is my other challenge. So thank you so much for all your love and support. And remember, as we're all going through our adventure, that every second of every day of our life, we truly are eternally and unconditionally loved by the Mother and the Father of all things, our Creator. And of course, I love you too. So until I see you again, much love. Hang in there. Take care of yourself. Remember, have some fun. Because why are we being so serious? All right. I love you guys. We'll see you soon.